How is everyone? Yes, we are going to have a nice discussion today about Diddy. And as you can see, this person that you see on the screen, Kamala Harris, she did a interview with Shannon Sharpe. We're going to have a nice conversation about these key components today. But first, I gotta read, and you guys already know what the motto is. I got to read this disclaimer. Fair use. Fair use copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use. And yes, I have to have this conversation. Yes, Byron, every day a new case. And made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, I apologize for being late, but we are going to have a conversation about these new Diddy lawsuits. This is just insane. Also, like I stated, I was going to have a conversation about the interview that Kamala Harris did with the former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on Shay Shay. If you guys know, that's online. Hello, yes. Did he do it or did he did? Also, I'm going to talk about Quando, Rondo versus Lil Durk, and also give Young Thug update on that case, because yes, I did state yesterday they are looking at a mistrial. That is the game. Mistrial in this dang case, because I'm tired of it. Yes, I'm gonna stroll down to Mr. Diddy. Now, I'm not sure if because I'm late, I might have to do the live again. But yes, in regards to you see it. Diddy has 2 new lawsuits. And hello, you guys. Please hit that like button. We're having a conversation about these new lawsuits that were submitted by, and it's so wild. Because these new lawsuits are submitted by the same attorney that I spoke about last live, Tony Busby. Yes, 2 new lawsuits. They were filed yesterday in New York, and it involves 2 men. I repeat, 2 men. And these men, they are remaining anonymous. They are going to be known as John Doe based off of these allegations. They are stating that these 2 men, they were underage at the time of the alleged incident. And they are currently being represented by this gentleman, this attorney. And I did show you this guy. Remember, I spoke about this guy, this attorney, Tony Busby. Yes, I say guilty. You say, look at him. I say guilty. Oh, no. Yes, hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about the new 2 lawsuits that were just filed yesterday in New York by this attorney, and he is currently representing as of October the 1st, where he did his first press conference that you see right here. Yes, he is representing not 1, not 2, but as of now, 122 clients in regards to, yes, Diddy. And in the words of Narendra, she said, did he do it or did he not? Oh, my goodness. But yes, in regards to Diddy, he is being charged. He has so many lawsuits. It's just ridiculous. He has too many lawsuits. And I'm going to actually show Byron says 122 clients is flat out diabolical. Yes, yes, flat out diabolical. It is ridiculous just how this person Diddy is continuously getting lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. According to this new allegation, they were young. The youngest said that he was 10 years old. I repeat, a 10-year-old aspiring actor and rapper. Byron says, I guess Diddy couldn't keep it in. Oh my goodness. Byron, hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham, and we're talking about this gentleman right here, Diddy, Sean Combs, Love, however you want to call it. But the first person that is stating in the lawsuit, he is a John Doe. He did state, and I quote, he was flown to New York. Yes, flown to New York at 10 years old. Did you hear what I just said? And his parents were the one that hired an industry consultant who connected this boy to Diddy Combs. This is why I always say you have to be careful who you're dealing with. Hello, Jason. Welcome to Politic Graham. Jason says, ABC, if you think Diddy has an obsession. Let me finish. Basically, with this accuser, he's stating that he was 10 years old when this all happened, and he was flown to New York by an industry consultant that his parents had met because they was trying to get him into acting and rapping. And this consultant suggested that this person, this boy, set up an audition with Mr. Combs, aka Diddy, in his New York home. And this happened in the year of 2005. I repeat, 2005. Now, when the boy flew up to Diddy's alleged home in New York, it was requested. They said it was requested. Diddy requested for a private meeting. Diddy requested that the boy have a private meeting with him allegedly. This is all in this new lawsuit. And I'm being very careful with my words because this is very, very serious accusations that were just filed yesterday by the attorney Busby. Yes, like I stated, the suit accuses this consultant of being a facilitator of this whole mess. Why? Because this industry consultant was the one that was the mediator, that was the one that introduced this boy to Diddy, that was the one that influenced this boy's parents to send this boy by plane to New York to meet Diddy privately in a private room and audition for him. Also, it states that during the audition in the room alone with Diddy, the plaintiff said that Diddy told him he had potential of becoming a star. Now, hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about Diddy. Yes, you read it right. He has 2 new lawsuits. Narendra says, I know who the boy was. Not going to name him for confidential reasons. Cough. Oh, I'm not going to say the name. I don't got it, Diddy. I don't have it, Bieber. I don't have it. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. We're having a conversation about Diddy's new lawsuit. He has 2 new lawsuits, and it was filed by the same gentleman, the attorney. I'm going to show this attorney, Tony Busby. This is the same attorney that was representing 120 clients in regards to these lawsuits. All 120 of them are saying that Diddy did some things to them, As far as SA, that's all I can say under YouTube guidelines. And I'm going to show the attorney that I'm talking about that filed these additional 2 lawsuits. So now he has 122 clients under his sleeve that he is suing against Diddy. I'll say it that way. He's representing a total of 122 clients. Yes. And with this particular lawsuit, like I stated, the first one was an alleged 10-year-old back in 2005 that was flown up to New York by a facilitator of foul play, quote unquote. The attorney's words, not mine. This industry this industry consultant actually was the mediator to introduce this boy to Diddy to audition for he was an aspiring actor and rapper at 10 years old. And at the request, this is what the plaintiff said, not my words, that Diddy requested that he meet with this then 10-year-old boy alone in a private meeting to do a private audition. And when he was alone with Diddy, according to this lawsuit, Diddy actually told him he had potential to become a star. And that is when a third person came into the room and provided beverages. And allegedly, this plaintiff said that the beverage that was provided for him, it caused him to not be able to control himself. And that is when Diddy actually performed SA. I have to say it that way. And the boy stated that because he felt like he could not control himself, he said that he ended up becoming unconscious and he was not able to do anything. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. And we're talking about, yes, the 2 new lawsuits that were filed by attorney Tony Busby. And the person that I'm speaking of is this particular gentleman, Diddy, who is being sued. Yes, you heard right. And the first one that I'm speaking of is a plaintiff that is going to be known by as John Doe. Neither one of these persons that's in this lawsuit do not want their names to be identified. And I'm going to actually show you the specific attorney that's doing this lawsuit, Tony Busby. If you guys remember him, he was the attorney that held a press conference, a huge press conference, October the 1st of this year. Yes, it's been that recent. I'm sorry, October the 10th or 1st, but it was this month, October. He did a press conference stating that he did forewarn people that he was moving forward with the 120 clients that he's representing in suing Diddy. He did forewarn people, and sure enough, fast forward as of Monday, he did submit 2 additional people to against Diddy. He filed a lawsuit in New York, and the attorney that I'm speaking about is this gentleman right here.
We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say.
Now, the clip that you just saw, he did give a warning. He did forewarn and give everybody a heads up. And sure enough, he is a man of his word because as of yesterday, he did file additional lawsuits. Hello, Jim. Thank you for coming in and welcome you guys. This is Politic Graham and we're discussing the first topic of today is Diddy. Yes, he has 2 new lawsuits. In addition, we're going to have a conversation about Kamala Harris going on multiple social media platforms trying to win the votes. And her most recent interview was with, yes, Shannon Sharpe.
The FBI or any
Was with
authorities
Shannon
going
Sharpe
to
yesterday.
make that?
So like I stated, hello Egyptian. Grand day to everyone. Yes, hello. Jim says morning politic over 100 Diddy definitely catches the attention. Yes, it does. And like I stated, the first specific accuser did state that they were 10 years old. Yes, 10 years old in the year of 2005. And according to him, he stated that he was introduced to Diddy through an industry consultant that actually he was met through his parents. Narendra says the attorney eyes are going cha-ching. Exactly. Because people have to put into people have to understand Diddy is worth $500 million. And it's looking like ever since that Cassie's case, I have to be honest, ever since that Cassie's lawsuit where he awarded her somewhere allegedly around 30 million, but they have not specifically stated the amount within 24 hours. That's when all of these lawsuits came about. Byron says waking up in the morning seeing Diddy catch another case. Yes, another case. And I will say, with this particular first accuser, he did state, and I quote, that it seems as if, I just can't believe it. I don't know how parents, I just want to make sure I put this out there. This plaintiff is stating that he flew to New York with an industry consultant that he was introduced to by his parents. Okay, that's the first thing. I want people to understand this. A 10-year-old flying to New York by themselves with a stranger, an quote unquote industry consultant, and with the hopes of becoming a quote unquote actor and rapper. Now, I'm not going to say the person's name, but Narendra, she did mention it in the chat about rumors going around. And I'm trying to see if I do you want me to pin it, Narendra? I'm not going to pin it, but it was mentioned in the chat of, people been speculating about Diddy with other artists that have become very successful. I don't want to say the names, but it is in the chat if you want to read the chat. And yes, please hit that like button. We are talking about Diddy and these two new lawsuits. Green says, just stopping by to not get political, only ask to each of you all over the world, vote for leaders that will lead with the golden rule. Do unto other nations as we wish done to our. Yes, Green. I like that. Yes. I like that. I really do like that. Thank you for coming in and putting that out there. Back to, yes, thank you so much, Green, and hit that like button. I appreciate that, what you just put in the comment. But just like I said, ladies and gentlemen, these two new accusations, lawsuits, they were filed yesterday. Egyptian says all parents need to be charged. You allow your kids to be alone with strangers, all for money. Exactly. Because in this lawsuit, this plaintiff did state, and I quote, that he met this so-called industry consultant through his parents. And this industry consultant was the one that expressed to them, if he wants to make it, he needs to go to New York. He needs to do auditions. And that's when they gave this so-called industry consultant permission to fly this then 10-year-old boy to New York by himself to have a private auditioning meeting in 2005 with Diddy. Egyptian says, all praise, I read that. Jim says, it's like passing the plate at mass, except everyone is taking. Whoa, that's a deep one. Squish, hello, Squish. Welcome, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. We are talking about, yes, Diddy and these two new lawsuits that he has in his lap. Squish says, no, do unto others as they have done unto me. Whoa. Byron says, the parents not going with their child seemed like a massive red flag. Exactly. That's why I want people to understand what we're talking about. Because with the first person that's dealing with these accusations in this lawsuit, they stated that they flew to New York by themselves. Then, as soon as they flew to New York by themselves, Diddy Diddy specifically told them that he wanted to meet with this particular person by themselves in a room by themselves, and he wanted the person to audition for him. And while this person was auditioning, it's alleged in this lawsuit that the person stated Diddy told them that they have potential of becoming a star. And that's when it went to another level. And the level it went to, according to this lawsuit, that a third person came into the room and provided beverages. And that is when the accuser said they felt different. They didn't feel the same so much. They could not control themselves to the point they could not stop Diddy from doing what happened next. I'm trying to be very careful with my words, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit that like button. Yes, we're talking about these new two lawsuits. In addition to this person saying that they were put on something, they didn't feel comfortable, another person came into the room. And that is when they became, quote unquote, not conscious. They literally became not conscious. And all of this came about, I want people to understand this, from this particular boy's or person, parents allowing an industry consultant to fly them to New York at 10 years old by themselves to meet Diddy in the hopes of becoming a quote unquote actor and rapper. This is the level we're talking about. And it's just like you guys are saying in the chat. Why, if you're a parent, why would you allow a stranger to take your 10-year-old son to a whole nother state by plane to meet with another stranger to audition in a room by themselves with no adult supervision? I want people to understand this. And I also want people to understand, with me saying that this is sounding like all red flags, because I don't know. I don't know what this attorney Tony Busby has to use as proof, as evidence, but I know for sure that I hope it's nothing as far as any DNA or anything like that that's going all the way back to 2005, because this is odd. This is very odd, and I'm trying to be careful with my words, because with this particular person that is suing, it happened all the way in 2005. And when 2005, they were only 10 years old. And hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Politic Graham. Yes, we're talking about the two new lawsuits that has been put upon Diddy that was filed yesterday, Monday, in New York, while he is currently in jail and without bond. He's continuously being sued. Hello, Mrs. Shamrock. Shamrock says, Rihanna said years ago that she signed her contract because they I'm trying to see if I can say that word, to throw her out of, whoa, this whole industry is sinful and crazy. Jim says, how does a 10-year-old fly unaccompanied? Well, this is why this plaintiff did mention that it was an industry consultant, Jim. Remember what I said, that it was an industry consultant that that went with him supposedly, and he or she was the one that introduced this person to Diddy. My question is, though, why did the parents not go? My question is, why were they so? It just seems as if people would do things for money. And I'm not trying to victim shame anybody. I'm really not trying to victim shame anybody. But can anybody tell me who would allow their 10-year-old child to fly on a plane with a stranger, to go to another state to meet another stranger to audition, and they're not even there? They're just home. They're just like, who would do that? Who would actually do that in hopes of, quote unquote, aspiring to be an actor and rapper? Byron says that's what I'm saying. And Mrs. Shamrock says, so this industry consultant is, well, that's another thing. With this particular attorney that did file the lawsuit, his name is Tony Busby, and he did forewarn and give everybody a heads up earlier this month. And the person that I'm talking about is this gentleman. He did give a heads up. I'm going to play a quick little clip of him.
We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say.
Now, how is all of this coming into play? And yes, please, my name is Politic Graham. We're having a conversation. Please subscribe, like. We're having a conversation about the two new lawsuits against Diddy. And the gentleman that I just played, that is Tony Busby, the attorney from Atlanta, Texas, that did file another set of lawsuits. Now he has a total of 122 clients that are suing Diddy for negligence. Well, not negligence. Let me be careful. 4SA. I have to say it that way. 4SA. 122 clients. I want people to understand that. So, topic I'm talking about now is with the first accuser. He did state in the allegation that he met this, and I'm going to keep talking about this key point, because with this attorney, he did state in the press conference earlier this month, and I quote, I'm going to read what he said. He's not playing any games. He says, and I quote, people that watched, participated, are known as facilitators of foul play. So when he said that, he's basically stating that whoever this so-called industry consultant was, and whoever this so-called other person that came into the room when all this was going on, they are going to be looked upon as charges as well. That is why this particular attorney did file these two new lawsuits Monday, because he's being very proactive in starting these lawsuits. He did give a heads up. And with this particular person, I'm just going to be honest, you guys. And hello, you guys. Hit that like button. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about the two new lawsuits. I'm going to be honest. I really think the parents need to be also held some type of accountability, because in this lawsuit, I'm going to read it for all the new people that are just coming in. And let me read the chat. Jim says this man has lived with this close to 20 years. Yes, that's messed up. And Narendra says, at Pete, in Jamaican accent, don't you have empathy? Whoa. Justin says that dude is trash. Always has been. Welcome, Justin. Pete says Leo likes Diddy parties. Leo votes for Jamaica. Oh, whoa, whoa. Hello, and Mrs. Shamrock says like and sub. Thank you so much, Mrs. Shamrock. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And like I stated, you guys, I want to get back to the details. I appreciate you guys coming in. Hit that like button, sub. I'm continuously staying on this. With this new lawsuit, it was filed in New York. It includes accusations by men who were underage at the time of the alleged AS. SA. I'll say it that way. Um, they were brought by the attorney Tony Busby, the gentleman that I just showed you. And one of the clients is he was a victim in the year of 2005. And he was only 10 years old and was an aspiring quote unquote actor and rapper. The boy's parents, this is where it gets weird. This is why people are in the chat, shaking their head like, what is going on? This is when it gets weird. The boy's parents hired an industry consultant to assist with their son's career in acting and rapping. And this is when the quote-unquote industry consultant suggested to the parents that they set up a later audition with Diddy in New York. And Diddy then himself, he requested that there be a private meeting. And when it was requested of this private meeting, that is when the parents allowed this then 10-year-old to fly to New York on a plane by himself with this quote-unquote industry consultant. You guys are really wilding out in this chat. I can't do, but I'm trying to finish. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. This is Politic Graham, and we are talking about the two new lawsuits that were filed yesterday in New York by the attorney Tony Busby. And if you guys can recall, Tony Busby is the person that did file did a press conference about, I'm gonna say back earlier of October of this month. He did an early press conference stating that he was currently representing not one, not two, but 120 clients, all surrounded about this gentleman right here. So that was back then. Fast forward, now he has an additional 2 clients. So he is currently representing 122 clients that are all suing civil lawsuits. I want to make sure I forgot to mention that. These are civil lawsuits against Diddy while he is being held in jail. Narendra says, are 10-year-olds allowed to travel alone without? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Oh boy, we got a Diddy in the, who is this in this chat named Diddy? We have a Diddy in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Diddy in the chat. Yes, I'm trying to figure that out, Narendra. I am definitely trying to figure that out. Hello, Stefani. Thank you so much for coming in. What in the can't do with my child that makes you think I ain't going to be there? Like, are these parents? Yes, that's what I'm trying to understand. Guys, free Diddy, walk out today. What? Hello, you guys. We're having a conversation about this gentleman right here, Diddy. And Kenneth says, Diddy came in the game with 80 plus deletions under his belt. Hello, Sharita. Sharita says all the parents are as guilty. Thank you. I'm just trying to understand. And Mrs. Shamrock says, yes, they can. There are people that work for the airlines that can accompany minors on the flights. I didn't know that. I did not know that, Mrs. Shamrock. That you look, I'm learning that. That's something new. I did not know that. So, so basically, this goes on. They can actually travel by themselves. Wow, wow. Well, hey, you have proven that these allegations are. It might be true. I don't know. I don't know. Because what really makes me wonder about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Politic Graham, thank you for coming in. What really makes me wonder about all of this, why did the parents allow their 10-year-old to go on a plane? And then not even just if it's basically what is true, what Mrs. Shamrock just said in the chat, I'm gonna even say, okay, we're gonna let going on the plane by yourself slide. Okay, maybe some parents do that. I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but hey. But the next question is, why would you send your child on a destination to meet with a pure stranger? Okay, because I can see now, okay, I can see if you send your child on a plane and they're going to see their, I don't know, grandparent or their father, right? Like, single parents, okay? I can, okay, maybe we can put that together. But what I can't understand is, why would you send your child to go to New York to do an audition alone, and the person that they're auditioning for, based off of what this allegation said when it was filed, this lawsuit, that Diddy requested to have a private meeting with this 10-year-old. Alicia says the parents don't care about anyone but themselves. I completely, because it's not making sense. Stephanie says, and now they want to get rich. You know what? I'm wondering. I really am wondering. And I'm sorry, the chat's going so fast. Let me go back up. Let me see if I can go back up. Is this live right now? Yes, Alicia. Yes, this is live. This is live. Yes, this is live. This is live. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. What's been going on? Because basically at this particular point, Diddy cannot do anything but just pray. Because it seems like since he's been locked up in this particular prison, well, not prison, I'm sorry, jail, and the jail that he's locked in, I want people to understand this particular jail that he's locked in. Let me scroll down. This particular jail that he's locked in right here, it is called Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. This particular detention center, I just want you guys to understand, this is just not a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence. The same time that 2 lawsuits are filed against Diddy is the same time the Bureau of Prisons are currently doing a whole investigation of this detention center right now, involving the Justice Department Inspector General's office. Now, what has been going on at this particular detention center that Diddy is currently being detained in? It has been a number of deletions. Just this year, back in June, two people that were waiting for a trial, just like Diddy, they were deleted by 5 other people in this detention center. There have been a number of serious cases going on in this detention center, even to the point it's just been deletions, it's been SAs, it's been a lot of things going on in this particular detention center that Diddy is being held in right now, and that he still has not been given a bond. And remember, we got to understand this. The next time he's going to even go to trial or go to court, I'll say it that way, is May the 5th of next year. So he's actually going to be at this particular detention center, a metropolitan detention center in Brooklyn. He's going to be there. If he doesn't get that bond appeal, he's going to be there all the way to next year. And I want to make sure people understand this. With these new allegations, he has to have security. I don't even think he's able to get out as far as walk around during recreation time, because he is a very high top person in this particular detention center. And with these lawsuits coming out, with these new lawsuits coming out over and over, back to back, this is not helping him while he's being detained in this detention center. Marcus says it's over for Diddy. Oh, whoa. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. We're talking about the accusations and the two new lawsuits. The two new lawsuits filed just yesterday. The first lawsuit was against that was filed yesterday was against a plaintiff. Both of these guys are said that they were underage and that Diddy did do things to them. I'll say it that way, allegedly. And the youngest between the two was 10 years old. It transpired in the year of 2005. Okay? The second person that filed, gonna stroll down. Make sure I'm gonna stroll down. The second person that filed stated that they were 17 years old. And I'm trying to figure out who these people were, because the 17-year-old, I could find out. I'm not gonna, I'm just, because I do my research. I try to do my research, but I want you guys to. I'm gonna break down the person that said that they were 17 years old. The person that said they were 17 years old, they said they auditioned for the then reality show on MTV that Diddy produced. Okay, that is the so-called person that said that they were SA'd by Diddy in 2008 when they tried to audition for a reality show that was produced by Diddy. And I'm going to stroll down. And with this 17-year-old, hello, you guys, this is Politic Graham. Hello, Sharita. Sharita says, we used to say black people don't do like that. Well, here it is. And Marcus says, they had to rush Usher to the... Oh, Marcus, why you brought that up, Marcus? Because guess what? I'm trying to figure it out, too, because if you guys notice, nobody is saying anything. Alicia says, well, Diddy should get a taste of his own medicine. Narendra says the diddler is a slippery person. He might slip out of their prison. I have no idea the way it's going. Texas says parents were equally at fault. These parents just serving up their kids for fame, lost all rational thought for the fame. I completely agree. Alicia says, well, we know now the money will do anything, but karma is yes. Stephanie says, it's not about him being guilty anymore. It's about who's gonna go down next. And I'm glad you say that, because I'm trying to figure out, who's next too. Byron says, I heard Diddy is not allowed to enter the main part of the prison where most prisoners are held at, because if he steps 1 foot in there, deleted. Now, Byron, to answer you're absolutely right, but I also want you also to understand, you got to also take into play Diddy has to also protect himself still, because even though he is in a held by himself in a 1 foot area, you have to respect the correction officers, because I'm just being honest, all a correction officer has to do is look the other way, and I'm just being honest, things can happen. So if you guys know the place that I'm talking about where Diddy is being held, it has been in the news so much. And like I stated, the Bureau has gotten involved. Bureau of Prisons have gotten involved. Recently, they're sweeping this whole detention center where Diddy is being held at, because so many deletions have came about. And they say the people who have been there, they say this place it's horrible. It is horrible. You will be in the dark mind of thinking, and it's very corrupted. It's corrupted in this place. There's a lot of corruption. So that's why I said, to answer your question, Byron, or just to state that even if he's in a one area by himself, he still could get quote unquote deleted. Jim says, how convenient would it be? Sula says, if he's deleted, there'll be no justice. Well, I don't know about that, because I mean, look what happened to O.J. Simpson. He's passed away, but they're still trying to sue his estate. Even after he's passed, they're still trying to sue O.J.'s family. They're still trying to sue for that multi-million-dollar civil lawsuit that they won years back. So I say that to say, even if something happens to Diddy, that doesn't mean these 122 lawsuits would just go away. Because, and I'm going to stroll back up. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Like I stated, Diddy yesterday there was 2 new filed lawsuits. Yes, filed in New York. And it's kind of odd that these lawsuits were filed in the same city, the same state that Diddy is being held in right now. So, like I stated, the first person that filed in this lawsuit stated allegedly that they were only 10 years old, that they were an aspiring actor and rapper. Yes, an aspiring rapper and actor. And they actually met Diddy, unfortunately, because of their parents allowed them to go to New York on a plane alone, because of an industry consultant suggesting to them that if their son wants to be famous or want to become an actor and rapper, they would have to go to Diddy. They would have to fly to Diddy. So that is how this particular plaintiff stated what happened to them. They flew to New York by themselves, and without their parents, that is. And on top of that, when they flew to New York and they visited Diddy, Diddy allegedly requested that this person audition for him in a room by himself. And hello, you guys. Marcus says Diddy is just as bad as R. Kelly. Whoa. And let me stroll up. Deep says Cat Williams opened his mouth on Club Shay Shay and the rats running. I'm glad you mentioned that about Club Shay Shay, because that is going to be another topic of discussion about Shannon Sharpe. He did do an interview. Yes, well, it was recorded yesterday. It premiered yesterday. He did do an interview with the person that's running for president, Kamala Harris. Yes, he did. And we're going to talk about that, but not now. Not now. Stuck says, can you rap? No, I cannot rap. Narendra says, Diddy's autobiography, I Dream of Dropping the Soul, now available at Amazon. And it's odd that you say that, because I want people to understand all this is coming up You know who's working on a documentary? That is 50 Cent. Yes, that is 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. He is working on a documentary, and all of this is just to help. Elmir says, please read my comment. I'm sorry. I'm going to stroll up. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button. Elmir, I cannot see where your comment is. Can you put it? Can you type it back in, please? Chill says, that's crazy work. Yes, yes. Elmir, can you type it back in, please? I couldn't, because it's so many comments coming in the chat. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Like I said, Diddy has been sued, filed 2 new lawsuits against. There were 2 new lawsuits filed against him yesterday by this particular gentleman that I'm going to show.
We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important.
Now, I'm going to stroll up for you, Byron. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me stroll up. Byron says, my previous question is a little up the chat. I'm going to stroll. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Yes, we're talking about the 2 new lawsuits that has been filed against Diddy. Yes, you heard correct. 2 new lawsuits. And Byron, I'm reading what you said. You heard the prison he's being held is very dangerous. Amir, okay, I found it. You says, I work for Expedia and I had a lot of people asking to let their child take the flight alone. Well, at Expedia, we have 18 plus year age requirement. Oh, but if you book through airlines, and I think Mrs. Shamrock was the ones mentioned that. If you book through airlines website, then there is no age requirement. So we just confirmed it, ladies and gentlemen, through Mrs. Shamrock as well as Almir. We just confirmed that allegedly you can go on an airline. You can take your minor, your child on the airline alone. Alicia says, sorry, I asked. No, it's not. Nothing is, I want to make sure people understand this. When you come to Politic Graham, this is my channel. When you come to Politic Graham channel, there is no question that is dumb. I want people to understand that. No question is a dumb question. Kenneth says, worse in New York. Sharitha says, my grandmother told us all no to Hollywood, California. Modeling and the music industry, and she was right. And see, this is why I actually want people to kind of understand all this is coming into play. We have to understand, for one, the first person in this lawsuit, both of these are John Doe's, due to the fact when these incidents took place, they were both underage. So both of these gentlemen are minors. Their names are not being said. The first one was only 10 years old. And his parents allowed him to go to New York on a flight by himself, all because of what an industry consultant, I repeat, an industry consultant suggested that they send their son to New York to do an audition with Diddy. Want people to take all of this into like note. Byron says the question is, will Diddy see the day of May the 5th, or will someone delete? Byron says, let's hope this one don't get deleted. Jasmine, hello Jasmine, so sad it is. And to answer your question, Byron, this is why I really feel And I hope you guys, hello, you guys. This is Politic Grim. We're talking about the 2 lawsuits. I really feel at this particular point, Diddy needs to he needs to be removed from this particular location that he's at. And the location that he's at as far as being detained until May the 5th, because Byron just asked a great question. I'm gonna pin. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna have to pin it. I'm gonna have to pin it. I want people to understand. With this particular location he's detained at, right here, Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. This place is it's under thorough, it's being a thorough sweep right now. And the sweep was done around the same time these 2 lawsuits were filed. And when I say a sweep, Bureau of Prisons, FBI agents, they are literally federal drug enforcement. Everybody are going to this particular correction or detention center. They're going to this detention center to clean it out. And it's to the point they don't want to give the specifics of how they're cleaning this out or anything about this specific operation, because just like I stated earlier, for all the new people that are just coming in, the detention center that Diddy is held, 2 people were deleted back in June by 5 other guys that are in this detention center. And the 2 people that were deleted, they were just waiting for their trial. They haven't even had a trial yet. So if it can happen to them, I say that to say, if it can happen to them, what do you think they might try with Diddy? And even if he's quote unquote in an area by himself, all somebody has to do is just, quote unquote, look the other way. All somebody has to do is look the other way. And why do I say that? Because with this case in Georgia, in regards to, I want to make sure I get you guys to understand what I'm talking about. This particular case in Georgia with Young Thug had to remove himself from Fulton County altogether and move himself to another county jail until his trial is over. Why? Because his life was not in a good place. I'll say it that way for YouTube guidelines. And in this Young Thug case, I just want people to understand there have been multiple issues in the Fulton County jail. It is similar to the jail that Diddy is in New York. And I say that because it has had a number of people end up getting deleted. It has had a number of people here in Fulton County. One gentleman was found deleted in his own cell, and nobody even knew he was deleted. That is the level. And that is why Young Thug had to leave, his attorneys had to request for his safety to go to a whole nother location. And I think this is what Diddy is going to have to do. Why? Because he's continuously getting a number of lawsuits. And at this point, you guys, we can all agree at this point. And Jim says, I think Google, YouTube will red flag. Oh, I'm going to say, I can't say the other word. Hello, Jacob. Thanks for coming in. Hello, Flower. Flower says, you can barely articulate a sentence. Hello, Flower. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for coming in, Flower. Yes. Sharitha says, has anyone visited him? To answer your question, Sharitha, yes, the family. We have to also think about the family. And the family that we're talking about as far as visiting him goes, because we also have to take into mind Diddy was on a watch, okay? He was on a self-deletion watch, the requirement when people are put into a detention center. They're on I forget how long they're put on this watch. But to answer your question, Yes. Now, as far as the visitors go, yes. But the thing is, at this particular time, Diddy is trying to be very careful, and even with his team, his quote unquote four dream team, they're being very, very careful to protect Diddy's family. To protect Diddy's family. Why? And Sarita, I'm glad you asked that question, because if you guys can remember, when it comes down to the sons, everybody except Quincy Combs, when it comes down to Justin, when it comes down to Christian Combs, they have also had quote unquote accusations. And thank you so much, Jim. Educate a Scott will you politic. And Shot on Demand says, at Byron, the video maker, I agree. Byron says, we're around 188 days away from May the 5th. Byron, are you really counting the date? From May the 5th of 2025. So literally anything can happen to Diddy. 1 second a guard turns around, and the other second someone might eliminate. Oh, yes. And this is what I want people to understand. Diddy is in heavy right now, because we have to look at the video that stirred this whole train. Because I want people to understand, nobody was talking about suing Diddy up until this. And I think you guys know the video that I'm going to pull out. Nobody was talking about suing Diddy up until this video got leaked out. Nobody was talking about suing Diddy until this video got leaked out. So I want people to understand, when that video got leaked out of Diddy doing things to Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, okay? And that year was May the 5th of 2016, that video that I just showed you guys. May the 5th of 2016, okay? This is 2024. Someone leaked that video out. And according to Diddy's attorneys, they feel that the video was leaked out by the same people that currently filed an indictment against Diddy, and that is the prosecutors. This is what's going on, and that's why I say Diddy is in a lot. He has a lot going on, and the fact, and I noticed this, especially with these lawsuits that's coming out right now, they are claiming that they were mostly quote unquote underage. Some of them were underage, not mostly, but some of them were underage. And hello, you guys, please hit that like button. This is Politic Graham. And Edwin, hello, I cannot say that word. Edwin. You know I can't say that word. And Chaw on Demand says, oh, you already read that. Hello, you guys, this is Politic Graham. We're talking about the actual lawsuit. It's 2 lawsuits that were filed yesterday. I repeat, yesterday, by the same attorney that currently made the announcement that he is representing 120 clients that are filing a lawsuit against Diddy. He made that announcement at the press conference earlier this month. Yes, please double tap, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Please subscribe. I'm going to be on this. I just found this out. I really found this out earlier this morning. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. And it is true. All of this is true. That the attorney, Tony Busby, he actually flew to New York, because he's from Atlanta, Texas. And the gentleman that I'm talking about is this attorney. I'm not going to play the video, but the attorney that I'm talking about is this gentleman right here. Okay? And the picture that you're looking at, he actually did a press conference that has the phone number in the background, basically telling people that if you were a victim, call my law firm. Okay? He did this particular press conference, and when he did this press conference, he actually announced that he had 120 clients that he was representing to sue this person that you're looking at right now. And sure enough, October the 28th, he has flown to New York and filed a lawsuit with 2 additional accusers. So now he is representing 122 people. And all of these are civil lawsuits. I want to make sure we have to be very honest. These are civil lawsuits. None of these lawsuits are not criminal. These are just civil. So we also have to take that into play, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, hello, D Boogie. He was doing wrong for a long time. And yes, Sharitha, yes, it was Cassie. Jim says, and that hotel settled to hide that video. Yes, the video that's speaking about in the chat that I showed was the video that I feel started this whole thing, that started the whole set of lawsuits. And the video that is being talked about in this chat that I showed was the video of, and Sharitha said it, Cassie. This is the video that started it all. That started all of these huge lawsuits. This is the video. And we got to also take into play Cassie's lawyers. They did send a letter of filing. And within 24 hours, Diddy actually settled with Cassie. But see, what people don't realize, even though he settled with Cassie civilly, this is a federal case, ladies and gentlemen. And because it's a federal case, they can still bring Cassie to what? Testify. And Byron says, do any of y'all think Diddy will be transferred to a different, or will he remain jailed in Brooklyn until his trial? And see, to answer your question, what I personally think, I want you guys to really answer what Byron just said. I'm going to pin that. I want you guys to answer that, because me personally, I think Diddy needs to go somewhere else. But because Diddy has burnt so many bridges with people, he's burnt so many bridges with people, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And Child on Demand, if you're still there, you says, I doubt they will allow something to happen because it will shut the whole jail down. No, there would be a riot, sadly, but he definitely needs to sit in his power. Okay, I'm trying to be careful with my words. And I'm glad you're still in, because I wanted to actually mention, in regards to what Byron just asked in the chat, do y'all think Diddy will get out? And I said, I think Diddy has burnt so many bridges. That is another conversation that Kamala Harris did speak about in her interview that premiered yesterday. This particular interview, I'm going to show it, that she did with Shannon Sharpe. And this is Politic Graham. And in that particular interview, she did state how she mentioned as far as community goes. Your community can be your family. And I'm stating that even in regards to this Diddy case. You have to be careful as far as burning bridges. Because if you burn your bridges with people, nobody wants to help you. Nobody wants to look out for you. And I say that because now look at Diddy. Diddy is the same person that tried to put a $50 million bond out, and he still was denied. He tried to use his $50 million Miami home to bail to receive a bond, but he was still denied. And you have to look at all of this. Mrs. Shamrock says, anyone think Diddy gonna tell? And see, that's another thing. People are being very quiet. And one of the people that are being very quiet, I'm gonna show is Usher. Usher is being very quiet. And I don't know why Usher's not saying anything. I mean, this is the same man that he helped a lot of people careers. Okay? And everybody knew the type of person Diddy was. Now, I'm not saying as far as if he did things to minors. I'm not going to go there. I'm not saying that. But everybody knew. They knew about this. They knew the type of things that was going on between him and Cassie. Because he was going with Cassie for what? 11 years, almost 11 years. So people knew. People knew. But like I said, nobody wants to say anything. But see, now people are scared. Because just what? Who said it best? Who said it best? Diddy. They wonder, would Diddy talk? And if I was Diddy, I don't know if I would talk. I don't know. Because it could make matters worse for him. It could get worse than what it is now. I'll say it that way. Child on Demand says, if he transfers, he will probably go to a jail upstate in New York. I don't believe they would keep him in the city because they wouldn't dare send him to Rikers. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about this heavy case that came about. It came about yesterday of Monday. I just found this out. I'm still going to talk about a little bit about Kamala Harris because I did like some of her response in the interview that was premiered yesterday that she did for Shannon Sharpe. She's running for president. And the reason I'm bringing it up because someone in the chat said, hello, Fred. Fred says Trump 2024. Kenneth says, because Usher knows he deserves to be under jail with Diddy, because Usher knows he deserves to be, oh my goodness. And Mrs. Shamrock says, Usher and Jay-Z. See, this is what people don't understand. It is bigger than any of us can imagine. This is bigger than any of us that can imagine. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. You guys in the chat tell me. Has anybody been sued as much as Diddy? I mean, I'm speaking of back to back. Because Diddy, the first set of lawsuits of 120 people was announced earlier this month of October. Now we have 2 more new lawsuits filed yesterday. And before that, before all of these 122 lawsuits, I want to make sure I mention this. If anybody can remember this, because I know some of you guys are kind of new. I did speak about this particular gentleman. If anybody knows this particular gentleman I'm talking about right here, he's currently in prison in Michigan. And he filed a lawsuit against Diddy while he's in prison. He filed a lawsuit against Diddy stating that Diddy did some SA against him. And mind you, he's in prison right now for something similar himself. And the reason I'm speaking about this gentleman, his name is Cardello Smith. If you can read what I typed, he won $100 million lawsuit against Diddy. You hear what I just said? He won $100 million lawsuit against Diddy while he was locked up in prison and while he's still locked up in prison. Okay. And with him, to thank goodness, Diddy's team was able to have that judgment reversed, because that particular gentleman, Cardello Smith, when he won the $100 million lawsuit against Diddy, the judge did request that Diddy pay this man while he was locked up and while he's still locked up. The judge wanted him to pay this man $10 million a month until the debt was paid out. This is what Diddy is going through, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm bringing that up just to say it's looking kind of sketchy. And yes, somebody said they're done. Somebody said they're done. Mrs. Shamrock says he only won by default. You're absolutely right, Mrs. Shamrock. He won by default, this gentleman here. He absolutely won by default, and the default was due to the filing of the paperwork. The filing of the paperwork. Diddy had the case dismissed and the money, the judgment reversed because Cardello Smith did not properly file the paperwork. He did not properly file the paperwork, and that's how he ended up losing the $100 million judgment that had been provided for him. So, yes, you're absolutely right, Mrs. Shamrock. And I'm saying this to say, this is why Diddy right now is in the mess that he's in. And also, this is why Diddy, Mrs. Shamrock says, no response by Diddy. Diddy's not going to say anything. I don't think he's going to say anything. Hello, Sora. Sora says, protect our kids, people. Yes, please. And I also need to say, here in America, I think, and I want to make sure people understand this, there's no amount of money in the world, okay, that I would fly or allow my child to fly on the airplane by themselves to meet a stranger to audition. There's no amount of money in the world. And I want these people to understand that. Hello, Little Sprinkle. Hello, Little Sprinkle. And yes, we have a Diddy in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see this? Do you see what we have going on in this chat? So I want to let people know. I say that because one of the accusers stated that they were SA'd by Diddy when they were 10 years old in the year of 2005. I repeat, they were SA'd by Diddy in 2005 at the age of 10 years old. Okay? And it all came about because his parents met a quote-unquote an industry consultant that advised them that if their son wanted to have a career in acting or rapping, that they would have to send their son to do an audition in New York. And with Diddy's request, this is all in the filing, okay? This is all in the filing. Due to Diddy's request, he requested to have a private meeting with a 10-year-old to audition. I want people to let that sink in. And this happened in 2005. Okay? And in the filing, the gentleman says when they were 10, they flew up to New York by themselves. When they flew up to New York by themselves, they were in a room privately with Diddy auditioning. And when they were in this room, another person came into the room to provide beverages. And when this other person came into the room to provide the beverages, that's when this person said they did not feel right once they start to drink this beverage. And then that's when they ended up losing control. And I want to make sure I'm reading this right. They ended up losing control, and they tried to stop what was going on between Diddy and him. And then that's when he said he became unconscious. He became unconscious. And he did state this. I want to make sure we understand this, you guys. He stated, Diddy actually told him to not tell anybody, to not tell his parents, do not tell anybody. And if he were to tell anybody, something would happen to his parents. Okay, so this is why he supposedly, I'm presuming this is what the argument might be, why he waited so long, because he waited almost 20 years to file a civil lawsuit against Diddy for something that transpired in the year of 2005. Sharita says, Diddy ain't that what you wanted people to look up to you? Shore says, people we not supposed to be around. Yes. John says, wherever they can have a lax insecurity protocol is where he'll be. Now, see, this is why I'm really wondering if they're going to have to stop doing this, where they're sending, the airlines allows minors to travel alone, because we have to set boundaries, because look what happened in this matter, allegedly, okay? This accuser stated in the filing that they were 10 years old when they actually flew on a plane by themselves because of an industry consultant that his parents met. An industry consultant that, quote unquote, was the mediator that brought him to Diddy on a plane by himself. And hello, you guys, this is Politic Graham. We're talking about Diddy. Dougie says, hello, Dougie. Dougie says, have they implicated anybody else yet? And see, this is one thing I'm noticing. They're not saying any names as far as other quote-unquote celebrities, as far as other quote-unquote people. And that is why, if you guys notice this, I want to show this particular person. Her, Young Miami. And then this particular person, Cassie. These are all ex-girlfriends. Not Kim, she's passed. But Cassie, Young Miami. We have to, and Jennifer Lopez, we have to take into consideration, they're not going to say anything unless they are subpoenaed to say something. They're not going to say anything. Why? Because Young Miami, she said it best in a recent interview she did. She said it best. And this is telling you, if she said this, what do you think the other people, the other celebrities, such as Jennifer Lopez, who's worth almost $1 billion, what do you think J-Lo is going to say? She's not going to say anything. Because I'm gonna show you what Young Miami said, and I can imagine if this is what Young Miami has been going through, I can imagine what Jennifer Lopez would go through, what Cassie would go through. This is Young Miami in a recent interview.
Why didn't you speak? Because I can't speak on something that wasn't my experience, and I can't speak on something that I don't know. I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. I don't know that person, and that wasn't my experience. So
now she's trying to play I don't know. I can't speak on this. But then this is the same person that in the next video, she was in tears.
That's what people don't understand about like me and Puff relationship. They was just like, you was so loud, and you a part of your brand, and like you just thought that you had something, and it wasn't that. Because I think the same thing with him. Like, he didn't expect to fall in love with me, because we did end up falling in love with each other. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like I don't want to get caught up in that, and I just need a moment to just pouring to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like our perfect, and we gotta learn from people that I thought that would be in my corner, or that are like, when I was going through this shit, nobody called me. Nobody called me to see how I was doing. Like, people was really like,
yeah. So
Now, the clips that I just showed you with at the end with Young Miami, this is why Jennifer Lopez is backing off. She's not going to say anything, even with Usher, even with Justin Bieber. None of these people. Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm calling these names out. I'm sorry. I'm calling these names out. And all the names that I'm calling out, these are people that were at these quote unquote parties. These so-called Diddy parties. I'm not going to say which Diddy party they were at, okay? But to all the people, and I want to make sure I state this, to all the people that you act one way, but you act another, because nobody wants to be around a loser. Everybody wants to be around a winner. But it really dawns on me that all these people that went to these Diddy parties, such as, the names that I just said, but nobody cannot say not one thing now. Nobody. Everybody's in silent. Why? Because they don't want to receive the heat. Because just like what happened to Young Miami, she said she lost a lot of her so-called people that she thought were her friends. And she also said they was like, aha, that's what you get. You deserve that. So, and it's not a good look for your brand, especially if you are near or speaking about Diddy and you actually dealt with Diddy. And so Diddy's going to be going through a lot right now. I'm going to go back in the chat. I apologize, you guys. Hello, North Carolina in the house. North Carolina, Tyrant, hello. Mrs. Shamrock says, anyone think the reason Ben and J-Lo are splitting is because of this? No, I don't think so. Jennifer Garner ain't gonna allow that. Now, I would say this with Jennifer Lopez. I don't think that's the reason her and Ben broke up. I mean, her and Ben broke up before. I mean, J-Lo, this is Jennifer Lopez we're talking about. I'm going to show the picture. Let me show the picture. We're talking, you're bringing up Jennifer Lopez. I mean, as far as why her and Ben broke up, this is the same person, Jennifer Lopez, that dated Diddy. And she dated Diddy when she was coming up into the acting, singing, the singing world. Okay. This particular person we're talking about. Okay. And she's known to deal with, going in and out of relationships. And then she always want to be in a wedding. She always want to be in movies where it's a wedding. She always want to be married to somebody. But then she cannot stay with one person. And with J-Lo, she did state in 2003, the reason that her and Diddy broke up in 2001 in an interview, she did state it was because of his infidelity. She stated that. But see, I think that was a cover-up. I believe that she's saying that was a cover-up. Mrs. Shamrock says, I mean, because of the Shine stuff. Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, because all during this time when her and Diddy were together, look what happened to Shine. Because I can say, one could say the real reason her and Diddy broke up because of all what transpired during that time of between 1999 and 2001 when they were quote unquote an official couple. And we also have to take into note in 2001, we have another accuser. Okay. This was, I want to say last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? The accuser stated that Diddy SA'd them after this, what you're seeing. the same night that Diddy was with Jennifer Lopez. And this person stated that Diddy was with them when they were 13 years old. So, and this was into all this. This is why I'm saying it is a lot going on. And I think at this particular time, it seems like Diddy doesn't have a lot of people on his side. I say it that way. Because it seems like nobody is trying to support him at this point. And I'm not trying to say he needs support or should be. That's not my place. But my thing is, for people that knew Diddy, that Diddy has helped, this is what makes me kind of wonder. I'm going back to this part. This is what makes me kind of wonder, is a lot of this for money. Is a lot of these lawsuits for money, because it doesn't make sense for all this to come out 20 years later. I mean, it's one lawsuit where the person alleged they were 9 years old. So, I mean, we have to look at these spectrums. We have to look at these spectrums. To me, at this particular time, Charles says, I think he possibly had hidden enemies. Hello, Amy. And Amy says, amen, with Kamala truth. K, what? With politics. But these people have more power than politics. That's scary. Puff, please flip and you all go to dirty. I'm trying to read it and lose your marble shot. Well, see, I think at this particular time, Diddy needs to leave this particular detention center that he's in. He needs to leave this detention center, because it's not, I don't think people supporting him like they need support him. And I don't know, because the detention center that he's in, I want to stroll down. This detention center has been in the limelight recently. There was 2 deletions this past June. Okay? And it was the 2 gentlemen that were deleted. They were waiting for their trial. They were like Diddy, waiting for a trial. Okay? And at this location, there has been a number of crimes. There have been even, quote unquote, ammunition found in the detention area, in the detention center. Ammunition. I'm trying to be careful with my words. And just think, all of this is going on, and this is supposed to be a facility where you detain people until they go to trial. So how is it we have all of this going on at a detention center? And that's the reason why the Bureau of Prisons are doing a sweep, a joint operation. Okay, and they didn't want to say specifically what this sweep would be or what this operation would be, but it is to have safety and order of the people like Diddy in this facility, because this metropolitan detention center in Brooklyn, it has become catastrophic when it comes down to the treatment of these inmates and individuals that are being held. And based off of my research, it has not gotten better. And that is why the FBI agents, yes, the FBI agents had to come in, the Federal Drug Enforcement, the Bureau of Prisons. They are currently doing a full sweep of this detention center. And Tanya, hello, Tanya. Tanya says, Diddy is going to get it, and he only helped people to get something from them or on them. And see, that's why you have to be careful how you treat people. Just like what you said, Tanya, Diddy is going to get it. He only helped people to get something from them or on them. that goes back to, like I said, you have to be careful how you treat people, and you cannot continuously burn bridges, even in the YouTube world. You have to, and even at your job, at your school, whatever you do, if you have a disagreement with somebody, just walk away, but walk away with peace. And that, you know what I'm saying? Like peace, but not to the point, what's been going on with Diddy. Not to the point, I'll say it this way. I'll show this video. Not to the point when one person is walking away. I'll show this. When one person is walking away, but then you get upset at the person trying to walk away. And this happens. This is what you call burning a bridge. This is what you call when you lose self-control. And this is why Diddy is in this facility right now that you're looking at. This is why Diddy is in a position right now where he's constantly getting multiple lawsuits. Amy says, oh, I already read that. Mrs. Shamrock said, I'm sure there are some of that are fake. Harley says, one video and the media makes him guilty. Now, Harley, hello, how you doing? This is Politic Graham. Please hit that like button, you guys. Harley, I want to also make sure we also take into perspective that is just one video. But according to the attorneys that are pertaining to these multiple lawsuits, there are multiple videos, allegedly. There are multiple videos. And even if you take out what you just said, one video and the media makes him look guilty, you also have to ask yourself, what are the medical records? Because that was also brought up by the attorney named Tony Busby that's representing the 122 clients that have filed a lawsuit against Diddy, okay? He did state at his press conference there are medical records to support this. There are police reports to support his client's accusations, okay? So we have to kind of look at everything that is into perspective. We have to take everything into perspective. Amy says, spell check. It meant to say stopping. I'm sorry. Hello, guys. This is Politic Graham. John says, people feared him. Yes. And see, nobody is afraid of him now. I mean, we clearly see that, if anything, according to what you just said, you say people feared Diddy. I'm sure he reminded people that his daddy was an old school. Yes. And they're not scared of him. Yes, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because the way things are going now, it seems like Diddy does not have that support. And it seems like people just don't care, what goes on, because it's like you made your bed, now lay in it, right? Ohio says, how did his victims feel? Mrs. Shamrock says, Harley, but he is guilty of causing Cassie. Mrs. Shamrock, you said it best. You cannot take that video away. You can't erase that. And Mrs. Shamrock says, so because of his own behavior, he invited all this smoke, and that's of his own doing. Angela says, they say if Diddy hadn't called out the liquor industry, Cassie wouldn't have been paid twice. See, this is all what I'm speaking of as far as burning bridges. Because I'm glad you mentioned it, Angela, because yes, and I'm gonna have to do my research on that, because if we can all remember back, Diddy was suing He was suing that liquor company, and he did state accusations as far as this liquor company went. Okay, so I don't know who released that video, because Angela, you did make a great point when you said they say if Diddy hadn't called out that liquor industry, Cassie wouldn't have been paid twice. Amy says he creepy. Him being I can't repeat that, Amy. It's his power. A coward, he women and can't come out. Yes, I completely agree. John says, Harley, there's several videos of him being a truly person. Sorry, he's your role model. And hello, you guys. We are talking about this gentleman that you see right here. Yes, there were 2 new lawsuits just came in. I repeat, there were 2 new lawsuits filed in New York yesterday, Monday, October the 28th. Yes, filed against him. And this will be clients number 121 and 122 by this particular gentleman named Tony Busby. I'm going to stroll down him right here. He is the one that filed these current 2 lawsuits, and both of these plaintiffs did state that they were quote unquote underage. So that is why in these lawsuits their names have been withheld for protection. Okay, to protect themselves, I guess, because me personally, I think, and I'm sure most of the people in this chat, and hello, you guys, thanks for coming in. I think the parents need to be held accountable as well. We have to take that into perspective. Why do I say that? Because in this new lawsuit, the first plaintiff stated that he was only 10 years old. He was an aspiring artist. He was an aspiring rapper and actor. And his parents, to help him achieve that dream to become a rapper and actor, they met an industry consultant. And that industry consultant was the person that suggested to them that they allowed their 10-year-old son to take a plane, fly on a plane by themselves to do a private audition session with Diddy in New York. Now, if all what I just said, that speaks volumes right there. How can a parent allow that? Because we already confirmed what Mrs. Shamrock said, what Elver, I think his name was Elver, what was his name? It was Al something, Elmir. They stated in this chat that a minor can go on the airlines without supervision. It has been confirmed. That's what they said now. So my thing is this, though. Why would you allow your child to go on a quote unquote audition trip with a stranger to another state to do an audition with another stranger? That is what I can't understand. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Tanya says, while the media has everyone's attention, Amy says, and I'm sorry, you guys, I'm behind. Amy says, quit trolling and thank you for taking care of that person. What if it was your mom or sister or wife or best friend, anyone you love? Yes, we have to take note. Yes, Amir, you're the one, Amir. And we have to take note in regards to that. You know, this can happen to anybody, but you have to have some type of control. You have to have some type of control in the sense that when it comes down to Diddy was a very powerful person. And when I say powerful person, he was a man that had a lot of money, and even currently still has a lot of money, more money than the average person, right? So if he has all this money, you have to, it kind of goes in the back of your mind, why would somebody wait so long? And it's not just one person, it's multiple people coming in the light now with civil lawsuits, not criminal lawsuits, civil lawsuits. So all of these cases that's coming out, when you see, lawsuit, all of these are civil. All of them have been civil lawsuits. And hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. Thanks for coming in. Angela says, what's also said, he got the key to NYC and was making a change. He let vices get the better of him. I completely agree. And that is what a lot of people are saying, what happened to Diddy. Because people have to understand, when they raided his homes. If we can all go back, what did they find? I don't know who put the pictures out. I don't know what that was about. But they found 1,000 baby bottles. Baby oil. I said that way. 1,000 baby oil bottles in a alleged bathroom. Who has that much? Okay? And what was in those 1,000 baby oil bottles? Was it just oil, or was it what some of these people have been insinuating, that they were provided something that would cause them to not be able to control themselves? So this is why I think Diddy kind of took a turn. And I'm not saying he did anything, but I do kind of wonder what was in his mind, when it came down to doing certain things as far as how you move. Because people who have money, I'm gonna be honest, that is a different world. And when I say money, I'm not talking about these quote unquote people that making 100,000, 200,000, 400,000. Because even with Kamala Harris, she did state in an interview, anybody, I want people to know this, okay, to kind of wake people up. Just because you make 400,000, if you make less than 400,000, according to Kamala Harris, you're still considered a middle class working person. That is according to Kamala Harris and according to her plan. So I say that to say, when it comes down to the real money, when you have real money is like money like Diddy. Money like Bill Gates. Money that if you get locked up, you can get your attorneys and go to the judge and the prosecutors and say, I'm willing to put up my $50 million home to bail out. People don't even make $50 million in a lifetime. People don't even make $50 million in generationals, like generation to generation. This is what the money I'm speaking of. This is the level of money I'm talking about. So Diddy, at this point, I have no idea of what's to come. I don't. I really, really don't. I've never seen this. I've never seen the level that it has come about. Questions? Yes, I am speaking. I'm letting people know about these accusations that's come about. And Amir says, I make $0 and I am middle class. Am I middle class or upper class? And see, that was the conversation that I wanted to talk about when it came down to the interview that Kamala Harris had, as well as these multiple interviews that Kamala Harris has been giving. And at the rallies, Barry says $50 billion cash in court for bail. Yes. And that is why I want people to, think about that. That is what you call having quote unquote money. And I think here in America, and even people who live outside of America, that's why foreigners look at America like we're so rich, we're so rich because you have somebody like Diddy, his two homes get raided, and they find 1,000 bottles of baby oil. So it's just like, here I'll say this: people can tend to lose themselves when they get a little money. You know what I'm saying? When they get to a certain position in class. Doc says guilty. Oh my goodness. Question says Kamala Harris has been actually talking about politics and trying to make it better. Questions I never argued about that. I never said anything about that. I'm just speaking about when it comes down to what Kamala Harris said. And I want people to notate this, what I'm speaking of. Kamala Harris did say, and I quote, my plan for the middle class is for people who make $400,000 and less. That is middle class and working class. But I don't know about you guys who are in this room, but I have never known somebody make $400,000 a year and they be called middle class. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't know 400,000 was middle class. Heck, I didn't know 300,000 was middle class. But with Diddy is the prime example of staying focused, staying in control of your actions, of your life, and not allowing anything to distract you. Because the higher you go up, the harder you fall. Right? And then it says middle class is under 100,000. Yes, Dennis, but like I stated, I was going to talk about Kamala Harris. I might do that in another live today. I'm not sure because I took a lot of notes with Kamala Harris, and she did state that, and I can show it. It's in her book. It's in her plan. 400,000 is what she considers middle class. That's what she said. She considers that middle class. And if you vote for Kamala Harris, she would take care when it comes down to assisting anybody who makes $400,000 or below. Those were her words, not mine. Her eminence says middle class is 100,000 to 400,000. I'm glad you said that, Her Eminence. Question says Elon Musk. Oh boy, we got politics coming in now. Barry Edmond says sending love from England, not Diddy style. Thank you so much, Barry, for coming in. I appreciate it. Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. We're talking about, and yes, this gentleman that you're looking at, yes, I have to show him in this screen because he is the attorney that is currently representing 122 people that are in the process or have already filed lawsuits against Diddy. And the attorney that we're speaking about is attorney Busby. Busby, he filed 2 additional lawsuits yesterday in New York against Diddy to make it the number be 122 clients right now that he's representing. Okay, so I want people to actually, look at that. That is what money is. Money is when 122 people are filing civil lawsuits against you while you are locked up in jail like Diddy is. And there is nothing Diddy can do right now except just, pray on it and try to maintain his sanity. Angela says at Harley, it's easy to say it if you weren't there. People did delete for speaking up. Exactly. And Diddy, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Cassie in her filing, she did state, she didn't say any names. She didn't say no names, but she did state that Diddy actually had something to do with a rapper's vehicle being set on, okay? She did put it out there because Diddy was just that jealous. Diddy was just that possessive. Okay. So we have to take all of that into light. When you move like that and you have money like that and you use the money to try to control people, this is where you end up. You end up in a facility like this, where Diddy is currently being detained until May the 5th of 2025. Yes, Mrs. Shamrock, but I didn't want to say the name. Yes, Mrs. Shamrock, I did not want to say the name. And let me give you a jacket. I did not want to say the specific name, but if anybody's reading this chat, you will know who I'm talking about when it came down to the person that Cassie spoke about, the gentleman that she was dating, okay, during the time her and Diddy were on and off. And Diddy actually set somebody's vehicle on you know what, okay? And it was a very well-known artist that we know about, and it is in the comments, but I'm not going to say it. Mrs. Shamrock, are you an attorney? Who are you, Mrs. Shamrock? But yes, with Diddy, there are accusations, and I will say this. I think the cases that's coming out now, I don't want to say it's true because these are allegations for now, but it's looking worse than R. Kelly. It's looking worse. It's really looking worse than R. Kelly. It's looking worse than, I'm gonna put it out there. I mean, if something were to happen to Diddy, and these civil lawsuits are not gonna go away. They're not gonna go away, right? So even if he goes away, the civil lawsuits will still be there. And I hope in regards to Diddy's family, they have some money, being made, being saved, because while all this is going on with Diddy, the next question is, what's going to happen to the funds in regards to, the homes, in regards to the multiple businesses and brands and accounts that's connected to help his family. And when I say his family, I'm talking about his mother, his children. This is a gentleman that has a toddler. Amy says, DV is hard to get out. Yes. Mrs. Shamrock says, they are just going to keep coming. Yes, him selling so quickly with Cassie opened up the gates. Yes, it did. And that is why I'm glad you mentioned that. That is why this particular gentleman right here, I'm going to show this particular gentleman right here, Young Thug, he is not trying to make any plea deals. He is currently going through he's been locked up in jail for almost 2 years in the YSL case in Georgia, Fulton County. And he's refused to take a plea deal. He's been in a similar situation where he's locked up. Okay. And because he's been locked up, he has been losing a lot of money. So much money to the point he had to put up his house for sale. Okay. He got up for sale for $2.6 million. Okay. And I'm using him, this gentleman right here. He doesn't have nowhere near the amount of money as Diddy. Imagine how much money Diddy is currently losing, and how much money is currently just practically froze. Byron says, do you think there will be more lawsuits beyond the 122? I absolutely do. I'm saying it. I absolutely. You know why I say that? Because in Diddy's case, with the 122 lawsuits, it's like they keep coming. And then to support what I'm saying, he did give Cassie millions and millions of dollars within 24 hours. And then to even support what I say, it's going to be more civil lawsuits. There was a guy that worked for Diddy years ago in the 90s. He stated that Diddy did something to him, and he's currently in prison, and the judge actually rewarded him $100 million. Okay? So, and this is all over Diddy. Now, Diddy was able to have it reversed back, that $100 million debt that he lost. He was able to have that judgment reversed back, so he don't have to pay this inmate, this prisoner right now $100 million. That's crazy. So I'm using that to say, yes, everybody's going to be coming for Diddy now. And that is why a lot of people that was around Diddy, they're not trying to speak about Diddy now, because they don't want to be sued. Because it seems like anybody that comes around Diddy now, or even shows some type of support for Diddy, they will end up getting a lot of backlash. And, just like, look what happened to Young Miami. And I'm going to go back into the chat. Hello, you guys. This is Politicgram. Please hit that like button. We're talking about the 2 lawsuits that have transpired recently, as in Monday of yesterday. And let me see, before I go, let me read some of these comments. Angela says, yes, loose checks and sink big ships. Dennis says, it would be funny to see Fluffer Diddler, oh my goodness, come out looking like Flamer after being tossed around from cell to cell. Harley says, free Young Thug. He refused the plea deals because he's innocent. And I'm glad you spoke about that, Harley. I'm glad you spoke about that. Because in Young Thug's case, I want to make sure I mention that. Young Thug does not have any videos like Diddy. There was no quote-unquote videos of Young Thug running down the hall in a towel and doing stuff. There was not, like, everything that's coming at Diddy right now, you can say, okay, there's possible just cause, right? It may not be true, okay? Because you're innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. But when it comes down to all of this that's been coming up with Diddy, nothing like this has happened with Young Thug. Nowhere near it has happened like this with Young Thug. And for Young Thug to still be locked up in jail for almost 2 years, and he has not been quote unquote officially found guilty, it took 11 months for them to even start a trial, okay, to have this trial come up. So it's just like, come on now. So that's why I say in Young Thug's case, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I know people in here is not perfect, but I've never seen the level it has become for Diddy. The level, it's too much. And hello, you guys. Thank you for coming in. Kev says, you ain't got anything else to do today. Yes, I do. I'm here talking to you guys. But I want to be the voice. And that is why I started this page, this platform called, I want to make sure I show it. This is Politicgram. That is the whole reason I started this platform, to actually be the voice for the unheard, the unspoken, and the people who are not on the level like Diddy, who are not on the level of these multi-billionaires or these billionaires, you know, that think money can buy them anything and they can get away with anything, you know. And let me go back up. Now, Regia says, catching the diddler, that one was a slippery slope. Hello, Omar. Omar says, refusing a deal doesn't make you innocent. He's being charged with being a ringleader, not actual. You won't see him physically doing anything if he has a smart no. And the person that Omar is talking about is not Diddy. He is talking about this particular person, Young Thug. Omar, I understand where you're coming from, but what people have to understand, there's a way to have due process. There's a way to actually deal with when it comes down to a case. And this whole case has been, in the words of this judge who is over this case, Judge Paige Whitaker, she said it best. It has been pure mishap. It has been pure mishaps all over, back to back. Why? Because it should have not taken Young Thug, okay, almost 2 years for a trial to even go on, okay? And to top it all off, in this trial that I'm speaking about, there have been not one, not two, but 3 judges. 3. And if you're going to say there is not quote unquote surveillance cameras and Young Thug's a ringleader, there's a way to do it. And the way this trial has been handled, it has contaminated all of what the prosecutors thought they had as far as against Young Thug and the 27 co-defendants of this YSL case. And just to kind of give you a little bit of what's been going on, the trial has been put to a quote unquote pause. Why? Because all what happened last week, and now they're trying to make a decision if they're going to have a mistrial. They're still trying to make a decision on that, and now it's Tuesday. So people thought that they was going to make a decision as far as just having a mistrial of this whole trial based off of the mishaps that's been going on in this trial, in this case. And one of the examples that will give you an idea of just how wild this case has been, okay, I'm going to show this gentleman right here, okay, DeMonte Kendrick. This is also a co-defendant that's part of the YSL case. His artist name is Yacht Gotti. Okay, with him, he's been locked up as long as Young Thug since 2022. But when it comes down to, I'm just gonna give a brief on it. Since he's been locked up, he has had people trying to send him illegal contrabands in the facility. And who tried to send him the illegal contraband? This is just how unorganized this is. This lady that you're looking at is DeMonte's own 51-year-old mother. Yes, you heard me right. I can't make this up. 51-year-old mother. His mother tried to sneak in rolling papers and illegal products. I'll say it that way. I'm not sure if I can say it on here. Products in the Fulton County courtroom. Notice what I said. In the courtroom. Not the jail that he's being detained in. Okay? But she actually snuck in contraband while he was in the actual courtroom. So this is how just wild this YSL case and trial has been. You have people sneaking in contrabands, mothers. She should know better. She's 51 years old. She should know better. Her son already has charges. Okay, DeMonte Kendrick. And Miss Shamrock says, my Lord, the people are wilding. Yes, yes. That's why I want people to understand when it comes down to what's going on with this YSL case with Young Thug and the 27 co-defendants. This is why the case needs to be dropped. Angela says, what contraband? I don't know if I can say it. I don't know. I'm gonna do my research out because see, YouTube, you know how YouTube is. You guys know how YouTube is. And I'm not monetized just yet. I need you guys to, subscribe, share this channel, like this channel. Even after this live ends, what I want everybody to do here is put it in the comments. What do you think about the Diddy case? All together, all these civil lawsuits. And Mrs. Shamrock says, I ain't gonna say it this time. Yeah, don't say it. Don't you say it. But yes, with all what's going on, and let me make sure, because I want to, hold on, you guys. I want to make sure. Wait one moment. Hold on. Oh, let me see something. Hold on, you guys. But this particular lady, yes, she tried to bring in contraband in the courtroom for her son, DeMonte. She tried to bring it in, and look what happened. Look what happened to her. So this is why I think Young Thug's trial needs to be dropped, for one, because it's caused Fulton County to lose millions. It's not like this case here. It's not like Diddy's case. Diddy's case, Diddy's worth allegedly $500 million. Okay, Young Thug is not worth $500 million. Young Thug is put up his house for sale for $2.6 million, and he says if you don't have the $2.6 million, he's renting it out for $20,000 a month. Okay, so that's kind of giving you a bit of a difference of what we have. That is why I say Young Thug's trial, he needs to be let out. The case needs to be dropped because it's too wild, it's not organized, and it's too much going on. Diddy's case, nothing has came out as far as people sending Diddy contraband since he's been locked up. Nothing has came out. Oh, so, hold on, you guys. That's my little baby. Hold on, my little Yorkie. My little Yorkie. Hold on, you guys. That's my little Yorkie. She says she wants attention too. But like I stated, I don't know if you guys heard, it was my Yorkie was just barking, my little baby. But yes, back to like I stated, with Diddy, it is a big difference. Big difference. And let me go into the comments. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Latimer says, pray for Diddy. Mrs. Shamrock says, I ain't going to say it this time. Omar says, how can all these people around him be criminals while he's innocent? How does that make sense? You know why it makes sense when it comes down to the Young Thug case? This is why you have to be careful how you move. This is why you have to be careful. And I think in Young Thug's case, and let me make sure I show it because I don't want people to get Diddy confused with Young Thug or Jeffrey Williams, that is. With Young Thug, one of his main problems, from what I researched, and I employ anybody to do it themselves if they want to question what I'm saying, one of Young Thug's main issue is, John says, you living in his boots like you did. Anyway, one of the main problems with Young Thug is he was too busy trying to help too many people get off the streets, right? And some people you can't help. Some people just have to help themselves, as they say first, right? Some people, they don't want to be helped. And I say that to say, when you try to help somebody that doesn't want to be helped, you will continue to continuously end up being out there or affiliated with people like this gentleman right here. This gentleman, Young Thug, actually brought onto the YSL record label. He was an aspiring rapper. Okay? So I'm saying that to say this particular gentleman, Young Thug tried to help him out. Because Young Thug tried to help him out, it didn't help him. Why? Because this guy is also now one of the co-defendants in this YSL case that needs to be case dropped. Because in his case, he has already been sentenced 64 years. Anyway, John says, what politics does Trump bring that you want him the same way I can't repeat that. Hello, Ken. Ken says, Harris 2024, vote blue. Narendra says, Diddy in prison praying. All I do all night is pray. All I need is baby oil today. Oh, my goodness. You guys want to make me drop? Oh, my goodness. Narendra, you're a trip. Fuzan says YSL, the co-defendants are making a mockery of themselves while being questioned by the lawyers. Exactly. It's just too much going on. It's too much going on, and it's costing the county millions and millions of dollars that we do not have. Okay? We do not have Diddy money. John says you can't repeat. He won't honestly answer. Barry Edmonds, hello, Barry says, real talk, you can't help some people. They will destroy you out of jealousy. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Barry. I'm going to actually pin that comment that you just said. Yes, misery loves misery. Misery loves misery. And I say that because even with this particular guy, his name is Christian. I'm sorry for the spelling. His name is Christian. Young Thug tried to help him. Young Thug, you're welcome. You're welcome, Narendra. Young Thug tried to help him. But when Young Thug tried to help him, how did he thank him? He ended up deleting a police officer. Notice what I just said. Thank you so much, Kate. Hello, you guys. Thank you for coming in. Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that like button. This is Politigram, and we are talking about Diddy. We're talking about Young Thug. It's a lot we're talking about in this live. It's a lot. Like I wanted to say, back to what Barry said that I pinned. You can't help some people. You can't help some people because they will bring you down. They will bring you down and bring everybody that's around you that you love, that you would do anything for, your kids. When they bring you down, they will bring all your loved ones down. Why? Because they don't want to leave the streets. They don't want to do right. Christian, Robert says, are you going to talk about Lil Durk? Oh boy, Lil Durk. Okay, I can move on. Look, I can move on. Because I would say this with Young Thug, I want people to understand this. You have Young Thug, Diddy, Lil Durk, all of them are locked up. Literally. And when it comes down to Lil Durk, I'm going to actually pull him up. Let me see. I'm going to pull man up, homeboy up. With Durk, same scenario. You cannot help everybody. And in Durk's case, I'm going to say this. You have to be careful of your temper. You have to be careful of how you move, because in his case, the feds, they are stating that his record label, Only the Family, aka OTF. Lauren says, I'm a big fan and sad about what everyone is saying. Look, Lauren, I'm not gonna say it. Look. But like I said, Wolf Lil Durk. And thank you for coming in, Lauren. Wolf Lil Durk, yes, he has been arrested. I think he's already extradited back to California, because according to what they stated, he did try to leave the country. Yes, he did. He tried to leave the country Thursday night, hours after his five members of OTF were arrested. They were arrested that morning of Thursday. Okay? When they were arrested that morning of Thursday, that is when supposedly the feds, and they have this in their statement that they put out under the justice.gov. They put out a statement stating that when Lil Durk allegedly got a tip that his members had been arrested, that is when he bought not one, not two, he bought 3 tickets going to 3 different countries. And he had them all going out of Miami at the same time. He was coming out of Miami at the same time. He had one going to Italy, one going to Dubai, and I forgot what the other one was about, because it was 3. Sorry about that. I'm going back up to Lil Durk. But the feds, the FBI, they actually was able to arrest him before he was about to go onto his private jet plane. Yes, you heard right. He was trying to, supposedly, that's what they say, go on the run. So basically, at this particular point, when it comes down to Lil Durk, he is in a position where now, if he's found guilty, he goes to trial. They said that him and the 5 other members that were arrested and detained, okay, for this hit for hire, they are all looking at a maximum statutory of life in federal prison. And I think with Lil Durk, I think he is the heaviest one. I think he is the heaviest out of Diddy, out of Young Thug, and himself. And I even want to put it out there, even with Quando Rondo. Even with Quando Rondo that you see right here. It's so wild. You know this, guys? It's so wild how tables turn. Because this whole case that Lil Durk has on him, it all spawns from rivalry and beef that Quando Rondo had with this person. Let me go back. Let me do it. Hold on. With this person. Trying to go down for you guys to see it. It's right here. This person. King Von. It's so wild how you had all this beef. All of this beef going on. And King Von was Lil Durk's friend. Tied up. Barry says Durk looked different without that smile he got. Barry, I'm gonna be honest. Durk gonna be looking really different. I wouldn't be surprised if Durk ends up looking like, well, he actually cuts his dreadlocks off. Because we also got to take into play, Durk became a Muslim. Robert says, look at my comment. Okay, let me go up. Robert says, things would have went differently if Quando homie didn't delete during the yes. Now, when it comes down, that's why I say it's odd how the tables have turned all about now. Because, and the person that you're speaking about, Robert, that got deleted, that was not just a homie. And I was going to do a little bit more about that. Make sure. The person that got deleted out in Los Angeles in 2022, August the 19th of 2022, that was his cousin that got deleted. Okay? Now, I'm saying all that to say, in Quando's case, Quando is currently himself in a bit of a situation. Rondo went all through this. He went through losing his friends, his family, his cousin. Okay? Because in 2020, he was protected because of an altercation that happened outside of Atlanta, an Atlanta club between King Von, this person that you see right here, who was a very close friend to Lil Durk. And King Von ended up getting deleted out of this. That was November the 6th of 2020. And that is why the feds are coming up. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm trying. Look, Lauren says, this woman should be a lawyer. So good with research. I appreciate it. I'm trying, because one thing I try to do, I want to actually make sure I know what I'm talking about. I want to respect the information that I'm putting out, because, you know, you guys have seen, I'm not saying no names on YouTube, but people will get sued on YouTube. You say something out of place, you will get sued. So, and thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate that. Robert says, yeah, this my first time joining. Now, I'm a fan. I appreciate it. And Lauren says, that's why you got to just say allegedly. Yes. Allegedly. I'm learning to say that more. Allegedly. Now, I will say, in regards to Lil Durk, all this has come about. You had Lil Durk, you had King Von, you had Quando, Rondo, you had all these key components. Quando, Rondo's cousin, Quando, Rondo's friend. You had all these key components. But it's so odd how the tables have turned. Because of all this rivalry, King Von ends up getting deleted. Lil Durk ends up getting arrested. And he's looking at charges of hit for hire because of allegedly he paid $50,000 to have this person, Quando Rondo, deleted. Okay? So now, fast forward, Quando Rondo had been going in and out of trouble. We're talking about within the time frame of 2020 himself, all the way to 2023. Okay? So because of his actions, Quando Rondo, his own actions, he had copped a plea. He had copped a plea recently, and now he's looking at going to his sentence hearing December the 12th. And he's looking at 5 years. Notice what I just said. Lil Durk is currently arrested without bond, okay? King Von is deleted, and Quando Rondo, in his case, he is now waiting for his sentencing December the 12th. And that's why I say you have to be smart and careful how you move. Mrs. Shem Lauren says 5 years isn't a lot for, well, no. Okay, when I say 5 years, that's for Quando Rondo. Okay, that's for Quando Rondo. Quando Rondo pleaded, he made a deal as far as pleading guilty for, in his case, he was charged with, they allegedly said he was over dealing with the sales of CBD, I'll say it that way, marijuana, being over that and having a distribution as well as other controlled substances. And he was looking at more than that. So to avoid spending more time in prison, he just went on ahead and copped a plea recently. That was his so-called case recently. Okay. So for him, he's looking at a maximum of 5 years. This, in his case, he's going to be looking at that December the 12th when they officially sentence him. Yes. And as far as Lil Durk goes, Lil Durk wish he could have 5 years right now. Lil Durk wish he could be Quando Rondo right now. Okay? Because in Lil Durk's case, Lil Durk, this is a person that has 7 kids. He has 7 kids. He tried to turn his life around, and I give him that. He did, because this is a person that was awarded the key 2 days prior to him getting arrested by the FBI and feds in Miami. Yes, Lauren, he has 7 kids. Yes, 7. And I say this in Lil Durk's case. In Lil Durk's case, he wished he could be in Quando Rondo's case right now. He wished that. Because in Quando Rondo's case, I want to make sure I show Quando. In Quando Rondo's case, the case is settled. He's just waiting to be sentenced right now. And because of his plea deal, he's looking at 5 years maximum. You must be coming in late. Hello, Asil. Yes, we have been discussing a lot of things in this live. This live has been running for 2.5 hours. I don't know how long you've been coming in, but welcome. Sergio says, had that wire all this time. Lauren says, seems like every time they give a key to the city, it's more like a key to a prison cell these days. Yes. And Lauren says, this girl is amazing. She belongs in the justice system as a lawyer. So gifted. Oh, I appreciate it, Lauren. Thank you so much. Latasha says, facts. Love it. Thank you so much, Latasha, for coming in. And I hope you guys have subscribed. This is Politic Graham. And I want to say this, since I forget who brought it up as far as who to talk about, as far as talking about Lil Durk. I wanted to do this live. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm not going to say no names, okay? But I wanted to talk about Kamala Harris when she did the interview with Shannon. I wanted to talk about that. And I also wanted to talk about a full breakdown on Lil Durk. However, I got news at the last minute. It came up about this guy, okay? I didn't know he was going to have 2 new lawsuits Monday filed against him. I didn't know this, okay? So that is why I came, and I just had to change some things around, because in Lil Durk's case, with this matter dealing with Lil Durk, he needs a full live for himself. I'm serious. Him and Quando Rondo. Because Lil Durk, basically, he has been on his own ever since the age of 17 as a single father. He's been on his own. And not a lot of people can say they have literally been on their own out in the streets since the age of 17. A lot of people can't say that, in addition to being a single father, in addition to having a father that was incarcerated in prison themselves. This is Lil Durk that we're speaking about. So Lil Durk, him and Quando, they need a whole live to themselves. Now, I will say this. when it comes down to Lil Durk and Quando Rondo, Lauren says, that's very difficult and a hard life to be a single father on the streets. Yes, it is. And I also want to throw out there with Lil Durk, to survive, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but he became a full member, gang member, when he was 17 after he dropped out of high school. And this is all why he's a single parent. Osel said, your YouTube is right wing. My YouTube is basically about, it welcomes everybody in regards to, you know, no matter what race, culture, party you have. I built this channel to basically talk about what other people don't want to talk about, if that makes sense. I built this channel to have, you know, express, you know, what other people feel it shouldn't be, you know, said or spoken on. So that's why I made this platform. And Osel, to answer you, also to add on to what you just asked, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing another channel altogether, like starting another channel, because it's like I want to be able to cater to everybody, but some people are telling me to just stick to this channel first until it grows. Hello, Bill. You says, why are you left wing? I never said I was left wing. I never said I was right wing. Never said that. But like I stated, I wanted to actually build a platform that speaks about, like I just spoke about today. Child on Demand says, hey girl, I have to clock in, but I'm proud of you, and this is so fire. One love. Thank you so much, Child on Demand, for coming in. I appreciate it. And I haven't forgot. Mrs. Shamrock says, one for entertainment, one for politics. That is what I was thinking about doing. I'm not sure, but I was kind of advised not to do that just yet. But Mrs. Shamrock, you're right on it. Look, are you reading my mind? I think you're reading my mind. That's what I was thinking about, because I like talking about both the entertainment as well as politics. You know, like I just want you guys to know before I go, I'm going to just show you a snippet of what I did, because I was so upset with how Young Thug is being treated, because that is politics. I actually, making sure I read the live. Lauren says, one love, Child on Demand, to have a great day. Yes. Robert, yes, you brought it up. Thank you so much, Robert, for bringing it up. Yes, Robert. That's why I was just like, as far as bringing up the Lil Durk case, I appreciate you bringing it up, because for me, it's like I wanted to actually do a whole live to talk about Lil Durk and Quando. They deserve a whole live by themselves, because for me, I take it very passionately. I'm very passionately when I speak on cases like this and matters like this. Lauren says, I agree. Young Thug is being treated unfairly. Yes, he is. Osel says, I think it's good to call out lies on both sides. Seeing how we are close to the election, do you think it would help the country to vote for one party or the other? I think, oh my goodness, I love you guys, because I wanted to talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about this live. I'm going to talk about another live. I'm going to do my next live to speak about Kamala Harris. Specifically, she did an interview recently with Shannon Sharpe, this particular person that I'm speaking about. I'm going to show it to you guys. She did an interview with Shannon Sharpe. And the reason Kamala Harris, I noticed she's going to multiple platforms, especially people who are on YouTube, just TikTok, different media outlets, to reach out to people who don't normally vote, or to reach out to people who don't normally, don't have any interest to vote. So to answer your question, do I think the country would help to vote for one party or the other. My opinion on this, I just want people to vote, because people are so scared to vote right now due to all the hype, due to what has been put out there as far as, Donald Trump. You're saying Donald Trump is this, and they're saying Kamala Harris and the Biden administration is this. It's dangerous, and it's this. What I want people to do, I want people to go and vote, because what people don't realize, for where I live, November the 5th, presidential candidates are not the only ones that are going to be the ones to vote for. You do have a local government that you have to vote for, because everything has a consequence. And that's one thing with Kamala Harris. She did speak about that in her most recent interview. She was saying how the Congress, they hold the powers to a lot of things when it comes down to decisions. And when you don't vote for your Senate, when you don't vote for your U.S. House of Representatives, when you don't vote for your governor in whatever state that you live in, the consequences become what it is, okay? And so that's why I say my answer is just go vote. That would be my answer. I don't want to take that side of vote Republican and vote Democrat, or in Kamala Harris' case, she's bringing people like this. She's bringing people like this to the rallies, okay? And Lauren, I think you had caught it when I showed it. She's bringing people. I'm trying to see if I can show it. Yes, she's bringing people like this to the rallies. I don't want to say their names. So when you bring people like this to your rally, and you bring people like, you go back down, this to your rally, it's going to make people want to vote. It's going to make people want to, do something. Osel says, good answer. I am a progressive who votes for benefits and of minorities and the working class. I think it's better if more people vote overall. Local elections are important too. Nice view. And I appreciate that. And see, that is why when I spoke about, and I don't know if you guys know of this, when I spoke about this gentleman here, Young Thug, and people don't realize it. I'm strolling up. When I spoke about Young Thug, this is a very historical case, because the district attorney that is over this particular case, the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis, she has been making headlines, even to the sense of in Washington, D.C., they want to do an investigation on her reaching out to the Biden administration, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, in regards to prior to her being into her position, she went up, and this is based off of what Nathan Wade said. This is on the record. Her and Nathan Wade went up to Washington, D.C. to have a conversation with members of the Biden administration discussing about Donald Trump. And that is why all this is coming into perspective when I say you have to not only vote for your president, you also got to vote for the local government. Because in the county that I live in, I live where this guy is being held. Fani Willis, she's running for re-election again as district attorney. And as her being district attorney, she has made an impact like nationwide. It's a factor. Nationwide, this trial is a factor. So that's why I say you have to vote, and you have to do your own research. You have to, don't be fooled by what people say. Do your own research. If you're Republican or Democrat or liberal or independent or conservative, do your research. Naridra says, peace out. See you later. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Lauren says, yeah, I'm in Baltimore, Robert. Same thing. Robert says, I agree because I take it personally because I'm from Chicago and grew up in the O Block, other surrounding black, but I know something personally. Going up, O'Sales, yes, good answer. Now I'm going to say this, you guys, and I want to ask before I end it. Hold on, before I end it, let me do one thing. Hold on. I want to ask you guys this for the next live, and I'm going to leave it to you guys. Do you guys want me to discuss the politics when it comes down to Kamala Harris, Trump, or do you want me to talk about Quando, Rondo, Lil Durk, a breakdown with them? Or do you want me to talk about both Lil Durk, Quando, Rondo, their situation, in addition to Kamala Harris' interview with Shannon Sharpe? I'm leaving it to you guys. Latasha says politics. Okay, so the next live, you want me to just do politics? Robert says Narendra says Quando, Rondo. Mrs. Shamrock says politics. Oh my goodness. Lauren says all of the above. You're incredible. Robert says essay a 10-year-old is nuts. It is. Okay. Bill says I'm subscribing everything. I appreciate it. Robert says the Diddy list people. Well, I'm going to do this then. Okay. My next live, and I'm going to do my research. I'm going to be on it. I'm going to talk about Lil Durk, Quando, Rondo, as well as Kamala Harris and Shannon Sharpe. Does that sound like a deal, you guys? You tell me. Does that sound like a deal? Because I want to make sure I cater to the people on this platform. And hold on, I want you to see this. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. Narendra says deal. Robert says Beyonce and Kelly. Oh my goodness. Robert, we're asking the question. Mrs. Shamrock says, yep, I'll be there. And let me make sure. I'm gonna take note on this. So the next live, I will have a conversation about Lil Durk, Quando, Rondo, as well as, and let me make sure before I go, a conversation about the interview that Kamala Harris did recently. Hold on, I want you guys seeing my personal stuff. Hold on. So yes, that will be the move. Because I want to give you guys the respect. You know, I want to actually give you guys the respect when it comes down to giving the information that is, wanted. So I appreciate you guys coming in this live. Thank you so much. And I'm going to start reading. Yes, yes, people don't want to talk about that. But look, you're speaking on it. I agree. I can't say it, but I agree. I agree, but I can't speak on it. I completely agree with you. And we will talk about that. When I talk about Kamala Harris, with that comment that Osel just mentioned, Lauren says, I'm from Israel, but yeah, I got to go. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much, Lauren. And yes, bring them home. That is my message. And I want peace. I want peace. I want everybody to come back. I want them free. I want the people free. The hostages, I want them free. So it's much respect, Lauren. My prayers goes out, to the people of that community. Peace and love. Yes, ma'am. And Osea, thank you for coming in. I do agree, but like I stated, that's the topics those are topics I want to talk about when it comes down to the politics. And I'm going to hit on it a little bit with Kamala Harris views and Trump views. Oh boy. So yes, thank you guys for coming in. Barry Edmonds says, we all one people. We all just want to have love and peace and respect each other. Mrs. Shamrock says, girl, this was great. You're awesome. And I thank you so much. Robert says, do you have a scheduled time that you go live? That is a great question. Now, I will say this. Normally, I would do a live between 6 and, well, I would say it's not do a live, but I will start a live between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. I will start a live around that time frame. So when you ask, do I have a scheduled time? That's the schedule for now. Now, any other time, oh, Robert says political. Oh, snap. Now, any other time, that would be at, my discretion, because before that, I would come on midnight. Like, if you follow, I implore you guys to follow me, hit that notifications button, because it was one point I would just come on midnight or come on 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, or on a Saturday, 3 o'clock, 4 p.m. afternoon, and just, talk. So, but the scheduled time, if you want to definitely know, there's a live between 6 a.m. and 7 is when I would actually, get the live started, if that makes sense. So I just want to show this before I go. This is what I did in support for Young Thug, because he needs to be free. I want to make sure I go back up. This is in support for Young Thug. And I'm coming for Fonnie Willis, you guys. Hit the district attorney that started all this mess on Young Thug. This is what I did. And I will be doing videos like this to show support for Young Thug. I did these long, wild nails. I did this. Yes, these long, wild nails. I did a loop video to show support for Young Thug, because this is injustice, how he's being treated. And that you might see me do videos like that, loop videos, where I do my nails. So yes, I know how to do nails. I know how to do certain things, but I just want this page to be a platform to welcome all. No matter what race you are, culture, no matter what party you belong to. This is a safe space. This is a safe place. And on that note, let me go up. I want to give a shout out for all the people that came into this live. Robert, thank you for coming in. Naridra, thank you for coming in. Mrs. Shamrock, thank you for coming in. Barry, thank you for coming in. Lauren, thank you for coming in. Ozil, thank you for coming in. Bill, thank you for coming in. Latasha, thank you for coming in. And I'm going to name all the people that's been in this live. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm doing this to support you guys, because I respect you guys. Mrs. Shamrock, thank you for coming in. Robert, like I said, thank you for coming in. Gonna stroll up. Chevy, thank you for coming in. Arturo, thank you for coming in. Shay, thank you for coming in. I'm strolling. Woo, it's a lot. Child on Demand, thank you for coming in. And I'm going to start doing this every time I do a live, just to show respect to the people that come onto this page and into this platform. Sergio, thank you for coming in. Making sure I have Q, thank you for coming in. Jacob, thank you for coming in. Dribble, thank you for coming in. What a name, Dribble. Thank you for coming in. Ken, thank you for coming in. Gabriel, thank you for coming in. John, thank you for coming in. Woo, a lot of names. Gabriel, John Parnell, thank you for coming in. Other John, thank you for coming in. A lot of names. Burrito, thank you for coming in. These are a lot of names. TT, thank you for coming in. Ken, thank you for coming in. Kate, thank you for coming in. Fuzion, thank you for coming in. I'm naming him. Omar, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you guys for coming in and supporting this platform. One Real, thank you for coming in. Lattimore, thank you for coming in. Rev, thank you for coming in. Angela, thank you for coming in. Sharitha, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you for coming in. I'm going to keep going. Dr. Storytime, thank you for coming in. Harley, thank you for coming in. Kyle, thank you for coming in. Kai Derby, thank you for coming in. Going to read everybody. I think I got everyone. Dennis, thank you for coming in. Amy, thank you for coming in. Byron, thank you for coming in. 5,000 Butterflies, thank you for coming in. Harley, thank you for coming in. Little Sprinkle, thank you for coming in. Eminence, thank you for coming in. Misty, thank you for coming in. Make sure I stroll up. Melissa, thank you for coming in. Who's a lot of names? 227, thank you for coming in. Oh, questions, Misty, thank you for coming in. Misty, and questions. The other Byron. Oh, Brian, thank you for coming in. Oh, Horror History, thank you for coming in. Elmer, thank you for coming in. Jerry, Doc, Tanya, thank you for coming in. I think that's about it. I think I got everything. I think I got everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, Lorenzo. Thank you for coming in, you guys. Good morning, Denise. Please hit that like button, subscribe to watch my platform. And thank you for supporting this channel. And always remember, I want to make sure I do this every live. I want to state key notes to focus on today for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Eliminate the if, focus on the present. That's the first thing. The second thing, focus on yourself, not others. The third thing, tell yourself, I will learn something new every day. Fourth thing, I will not get upset at what I don't have control of. And the last but not least, the fifth, advocate for yourself and learn how to speak up. And on that note, peace out. Have a peace of mind. And this is Politic Graham. Thank you. Oh, hit the comments. I want to say that. Make sure you put in the comments. Do you think Diddy should be out? Do you think Diddy is ever getting out? And do you think Lil Durk will be free? Or do you think anybody is not guilty or guilty? Bye.